So you guys are aware that you have to be on the sidewalk or beyond that
We
you
have
can't
to
come
be 100
onto.
feet from the building.
So in the park, because it's specifically the park, it's actually the whole park.
Because we don't want to get in an argument.
No. I'm not arguing.
And I'm assuming you don't want to interfere with our ability to check for your compliance with federal law.
I'm just telling you what I know.
Signage for where 100 feet is.
I have it. Do you want me to go grab?
That'd be great.
Sure, I'll be right back.
America, a federal observer showed up to watch an election and got walked back to the sidewalk by a park employee with a tape measure. That is not a conspiracy theory here, you guys. It's this week. And here's the situation in that clip that nobody wants to say out loud. The reason that the federal government felt the need to send anybody at all is sitting in black and white in New Jersey state filing. 6,600 non-citizens on voter rolls admitted by the state itself.
New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill is under fire right now. She admitted more than 6,000 non-citizens were added to the state's voter rolls in 2023 and 2024. She's blaming a software error for this discrepancy.
What is up, guys? Tyson DeLaCruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Here is the plain version, my friends. The Justice Department is sending out 1,000 people to polling places this November. They are enforcing federal voting law. We're talking about language access, disability access, military ballots arriving on time. That is the state's job here. But my friends, listen to why they say they actually need to be there.
And we see a problem, frankly, with some election officials refusing to clean up their voter rolls and knowingly allowing non-citizens, for example, to stay on the voter rolls. This is a federal crime.
Tens of thousands of non-citizens still on voter rolls. Let me rewind that back for you guys. Tens of thousands of non-citizens sitting on voter rolls. Hundreds of thousands of dead people were never taken off. Okay? That is the Assistant Attorney General saying that. And the New Jersey case that we talked about like a week or two ago, that backs it up and is the shape of it exactly. Now, I've been doing real estate for a while, and if I handed the title company, the people that review the purchase and sales of properties, a list of 6,000 names that shouldn't be on the deed, which is the ownership of the property, and they said, it's software error, not our problem, I would be on the phone with my attorney within 5 minutes. But somehow, when it's a voter roll instead of like a property record, it gets called oversight. And here's where it stops being an accident and actually starts being a pattern. Watch what North Carolina did.
Democrat Governor Josh Stein facing backlash right now for vetoing a Republican-led election integrity bill. Now, that bill would have shortened the early in-person voting period and also require the state to use a federal database to remove dead citizens from the state's voter rolls. You heard Harmeet Dillon talking about that just now. Well, in April, North Carolina's own election board identified 34,000 registered voters who should have been removed.
North Carolina's own election board, not some outside investigator here. They found 34,000 names that needed to come off of rolls. 34,000 names. And the governor vetoed the bill that would have used a federal database to actually clean everything up. His own people found the mess, and he blocked the mess from getting cleaned up, okay? And 2/3 of the state, by the department's own count here, are refusing to hand over the data needed to check any of this situation.
We don't know the scale of this problem because 2/3 of the states are refusing to cooperate with the Department of Justice's efforts to help them clean up their voter rolls under the Help America Vote Act, NVRA. We've requested this information under the 1960 Civil Rights Act. And so we would love for all the states to cooperate with us. But in the states that have cooperated with us, there are hundreds of thousands of dead people on the voter rolls.
If you got nothing on those rolls worth hiding, hand over the list. It should take an afternoon. 23 straight court fights just to keep this situation locked in a drawer. That is not what an innocent man looks like, okay? Now let's talk about the situation that turns this from a paperwork problem into an actual math problem, because this is where it gets very interesting. Miami-Dade County won primary, 243 plus ballots. Over 100,006 of those, nearly half of the entire county, arrived by mail. Miracles by mail. That's what we're going to dub it. Miracles by mail. Not dropped off at a booth in front of a poll worker. Mailed in. Miracles by mail. And guys, we already know the situation. Think about this for a second. Nobody's checking ID at the mailbox. Nobody's checking ID when that supposed person sends it off by mail. Nobody's confirming that it's really you standing there filling out those documents. It shows up. It gets counted miraculously, miracles by mail, and the system trusts the envelopes. Now stack that against what we've already covered on this channel, 6,600 non-citizens on state rolls, 34,000 names that never should have been active in the first place, okay? A system that can't even confirm who's alive or who's dead, okay? RIP to Jimmy Carter, but you remember this guy right here, Jimmy Carter. Okay, Jimmy Carter. Yes, this guy right here. You guys remember him. R.I.P. Jimmy Carter, by the way. He said it was his lifelong dream. This is what they said that he said, okay? It was his lifelong dream to vote for Kamala Harris. The guy was 100 years old. They wheeled him out. This guy, at this point in his life, probably couldn't even make a decision on whether he wanted mac salad or potato salad with this turkey sandwich, okay? And you are asking me to believe every single one of those mail-in envelopes was filled exactly the way that it was supposed to by the rules that they put out on paper? Come on.
They find all these ballots all of a sudden out of they came down from heaven, hundreds of thousands of ballots. Isn't it wonderful? He had no chance of losing, but all of a sudden time went by, and the election's long over. And I heard a report that Spencer Pratt's not doing that well. I said, watch, he's going to lose. And he lost. It's crooked.
I'll give you this much. That specific line is Trump talking about a specific California count. And I'm not telling you that every single late ballot is a stolen ballot, or am I? What I'm telling you is this. When a county with dead people and non-citizens, these people are still sitting on voter rolls, and this happens to be true, and this place runs nearly half of its votes through unwitnessed mail-in ballots, miracles by mail. Trust the system is what they say. This stops being an actual argument here and starts being a request. Now, here's what we got to talk about, because this is what it actually costs me and you who shows up in person, okay? We wait in line to vote. We take the day off to vote. We show our ID to vote, which a lot of places don't even require anymore. We do this the difficult way, the more challenging way. The vote, our vote, gets diluted by a name that the rolls, this person's name should have never, ever been active. The tax dollars fund the cleanup effort that certain governors are actively vetoing. And when he asks the simple question, why won't the states hand over the list, he gets called a conspiracy theorist by the same people who are 0-23 in court with trying to keep this exact list sealed. That Minneapolis park employee with that tape measure, wasn't wrong to follow the local rule, but somewhere between the local rule and the roll, this county built a system where a guy measuring a sidewalk distance gets more scrutiny than the 6,600 names that shouldn't have been on the list in the first place. America, they'll tell you 100 feet of sidewalk in Minneapolis is the real threat to democracy. Meanwhile, New Jersey already admitted the non-citizens, El Hombres, are voting. North Carolina already found 34,000 names, and 2/3 of its counties still won't hand over the list. You don't get to call the guy asking for receipts a threat to democracy, while you're the only one who won't open the books. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.